Okay, welcome back to the channel. This is take two. I shot it in the wrong format before and didn't realize it till I got back upstairs. So I'm shooting the entry to the video over again. So today's video is going to be part two of the WO-91C Oscilloscope by RCA. Previous video, I did a little bit of an introduction on it. I've ordered the caps that I need. I ordered them from DigiKey. B. Anderson TV did a great video on how to order from Mauser and DigiKey. I've ordered from them before, so I knew what I was doing. But if you're new to this, take a look at his video on that. And he just posted it yesterday, I believe. Yesterday? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. Today is December 29th, 2024. This is going to be my last video of the year. What I'm going to be doing today is we're going to take a look at the oscilloscope display. And if you remember correctly, it wasn't a good sine wave. So we're going to take a look at that again today. And then I'm going to start cleaning the controls. I cleaned the switches with Deoxit D5, and I use the fader lube for the rheostats, the pots. So look, I know there's a lot of controversy back and forth. I'm trying the fader lube for the first time. So normally I use Deoxit D5 on everything. So something new I'm trying. We'll see how it works out. Again, this will be the last of the year, and I want to thank. Get this in the shot here. My frequency counter, which wasn't working. Well, it wasn't working properly. I would put 450 into it and I would get 900 on the display. So right now I'm putting 450 into it and it's showing 450 on the display. One of the viewers, I asked for some help. I had a few viewers jump in. The one viewer, John, pointed me in a direction which I hadn't even been looking. Started poking around and trying to see some signals on this scope, the 2213 Tektronix, and all of a sudden it started working. I really don't know what the problem was. Could it have been a static charge causing a FET not to work? But that's the only place I was poking around. There were a couple diodes and 2 FETs that I was testing, and all of a sudden it started working. So hey, I'm just happy it's working. This frequency counter goes up to 500, I think it's 512 megahertz. And I do ham radio work, so I like to have something that can read a little bit higher than the typical 20, 30, 60, 80 stuff that's out there. So again, thank you viewers for jumping in. So with that, I'm going to get right into working on the scope. Again, I'm going to do some cleaning of the pots and everything to see if that helps the display. And after I do that, I'm going to start getting into the cleaning of the case, things like that, and then the faceplate, remove the knobs. So not sure how long the video is going to be, but I want to thank everybody who has tuned in during this year for viewing my channel. Whether you've subscribed or not subscribed, I really appreciate you watching my channel. It amazes me that I have people from all over the world watching my channel. It's what YouTube is all about. So thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed, I would really appreciate you subscribing. I've got some other projects coming up with the new year. After this oscilloscope gets done, My next project is going to be a Hammerland. I believe it's the HQ 129A. I'm not quite sure. I don't remember the number. That was given to me. Family of a ham radio operator in the area wanted it to have a good home, but it needs a lot of work. It's been neglected for many years, so that's going to be hopefully my next project. So with that, let's get into the oscilloscope project. Okay. So this is what we have. This is actually on the calibrate function so that I can get something on the screen. Excuse me. The controls appear to work, but you can see this is not a perfect sine wave like it's supposed to be. So I'm going to now turn this on its side and start cleaning some of these controls, and then I'll bring you guys back to see what this looks like. Again, the centering, everything appears to work. But again, capacitors are bad. I don't know what's really vertical sweep, sync. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so here we are after cleaning the intensity, focus, horizontal centering, vertical centering. I also cleaned the horizontal gain, the sweep, okay, vertical polarity, and there's nothing on the input here. See, if I put my finger on the input, it'll go off. Okay, so we know that the vertical circuit is working just by doing that. Let's put this up. I'll put this over here. And that's just from putting my finger on there. But I still don't see a good sine wave. And I now have to come down. I'm going to come down and I'm going to clean the rest of these controls. It's not going. I don't believe it's going to make much of a difference until I get in and change those capacitors. But vertical calibrate, the sweep. Yeah, the sweep switch is not working properly. Needs a good cleaning. So let me. Where was I? Here I was. Okay. All right. So let me get back to this, and we'll be back shortly. Okay. So the reason I'm showing you this, you're going to see this big rag hanging out of there, is because when I get in here and do this, and I spray these switches, I don't want that, and really it's not going to hurt anything. I understand that, but it's me. I just don't like that just dripping down all over on the inside, on the tubes, on all the controls, everything that's in there. So that's what I do. Is it necessary? I seriously doubt it. But that's me. Okay. All the controls have been cleaned. Still hasn't corrected this, which leads me to believe could be a bad tube. I haven't cleaned the tube sockets yet. You can see I just moved these tubes a little bit, and it's bouncing all over. Tube sockets, I'm sure, are dirty. Yeah, and you got to remember when you're reaching, if this is on and you're reaching around the back of the set, it's underneath here. There's about 1400 volts. That can hit you. So again, I believe this is and somebody can jump in and tell me if I'm wrong, I believe this is a bad capacitor indication. I can't get this to... All right, so none of this works when you're in the calibrate mode. So, all right, so I got work to do. Once those caps come in, I'll start replacing those. Now I'm going to turn my focus on doing some cleaning. Really, the cabinet I'm going to do first. Get that cleaned up. There's some tape. Somebody put tape on the top of it. And get that cleaned off. I'm just turning the power on the variac. See what happens. Moves it around. Okay. But yeah, this is where we're at. We're doing good. The other thing is the switches are now looser than what they were. Well, you couldn't feel it, but these were very hard to turn. The grease that they have on the stops on the switch, all these switches, was just dried up and caked up. So I cleaned some of that out too. I'm going to have to put some lubricant. What do I have? Lithium grease down in there on those ball bearings and things to free it up a little bit. But that's where we're at. So let me move things around a little bit here and we'll start. Okay, off the tripod. Yeah, the case. Working on the case. It's just dirty. Put a little simple green on it. It's got some scratches. I'm not too concerned about that. I want it clean. I want it working. I'd like to keep the paint original. I could probably respray it, but it's not that bad that I would... Yeah, look, that's what it looks like. You got a little bit over here. This is the one side. I already did the top. This is what I have to get off. Masking tape. So I'm going to have to get this off. It'll come off. I don't want to scrape it with anything sharp. I might just use some Goo Gone on it and let it sit there for a while. But this is all cleaned up nice now. When I'm done, I will get some, crazy, but I will get some automotive polish and give it a good polish. Yeah, I didn't get all the dirt off the top. All right, you don't need to see me clean. I think you get the idea. Got to do a little cleaning to make it look good. And yeah, I got other stuff on the bench too. This happens to be my heavy workbench. Okay, I got all my tools up over here. It's not usually where I do electronic work, but that scope is a little bit bigger than what I'm usually working on over here. This is my normal bench that you can see. So I needed more space for now, so I'm working over here doing this. I would want to, while I'm doing a little soaking over there, I wanted to talk about this scope. Now, this is an RCA WO-91C, okay? I have been all over the internet. I can find information, a lot of it, on the 91A. I can find some information on the 91B, but there is nothing out there for the 91C. And everybody says, oh, it's the same scope, you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, well, got news for you. It is the same scope, but it's got some differences. And I'm gonna show you. Hopefully you can get in here and see this. Put a little extra, I don't know, the light too much. Yeah, just like this would be good. You can see the power supply. There's a low voltage rectifier. Okay, well, that's for the low voltage. Low voltage isn't that low, but it's low voltage. And this is the high voltage, okay? this says someplace on here 1350 volts. You can't see it, but right there, 1350. Okay. The A scope, the B scope have this. But in the C, they did away with the tubes. I had to take a schematic. Oh, and the other thing they did away with was they did away with this inductor between the two caps on the power supply. Okay, so they did away with that. The caps are the same that are there, but right now there's a resistor there, and what I did was, my drawings aren't that good, but I put in the 500 ohm. That's here. Sorry about that. I had to sneeze. There's 150 ohm 5 watt down here in line, which doesn't exist here. Okay, so I had to put that in. And I put in the diodes. Okay, low voltage. This is the high voltage. Now, you guys are going to look at this and you're going to say, that says minus 1350. Yes, I put this diode symbols in backwards. To get the minus voltage, you got to reverse the diode so you get your minus voltage, okay? I realized that after I did it, but I needed something that I can keep with the scope that shows changes between the A, the B, and the C. So far, that's the only change that I see. But I wanted to bring that to everybody's attention, because if somebody has one of these 91C scopes and they're looking at this, they're going to, like me when I first got it, like, where's this, where's that? And so that's what it is. I traced it out and made myself another print with the proper power supplies. Back to the case. The back of this, there's an access point because there's an adjustment on the back of the scope, and there's no way this is ever going to get cleaned up. It's just a little plated piece of tin. So what I'm going to do is I will take this out, clean it temporarily, go to the hardware store and find another cap that'll fit in there to replace that, because I can't have that. Okay, so I took the handle off as well, and it cleaned up pretty good. These two, they kind of go on either end as the handle, but I'm going to use some Simichrome and see if I can give these a polish, make them look a little bit better, and put a little protection on them. Okay, you can see a little Simichrome makes them look like new. Well, maybe not like new, but definitely cleaned up. The other thing I like to do is use as much of the original hardware as I can, clean the heads of the screws off, and be able to put those right back. So with that, I'm going to end this for tonight. I want to wish everybody a happy, safe, healthy, and prosperous new year in 2025. Again, thank you for your support by subscribing, watching my videos. It's interesting to see when you have people from all over the world watching your videos. I just think that's really nice. Of course, I watch videos from all over the world myself. But again, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. If you watch, I'd appreciate a subscribe if you like what I'm doing. And I have no idea, but if you look at the sine wave now, I'm wondering what's going on, because now the sine wave looks better. Could be the capacitors reforming as I turn it on and everything. So again, may all of you have a happy new year, safe new year, healthy and prosperous as well. Take care and see you in the new year.